Hey guys, it's Eric coming to you from Big E's Car Garage. This is Eric. As I sit here, well, before we even jump into this video, if you hadn't already hit that subscribe button, be sure and go ahead and do that and like the video. I definitely appreciate it. I'm sitting here today just in Darkhorse, my 2003 Mustang GT, and I'm just contemplating the future of my car and what it holds. I've got several ideas. I feel like I'm to the point with my car. It's time to go faster. Although there's a few things that we can do to even be faster before I actually go faster in terms of making more horsepower. So before we even get into any kind of engine swaps or engine changes, rebuild, whatever the case may be, let's talk about what those are. My car right now, like I say, it's got the 4.6 liter 2-valve V8 in it. It's supercharged. We're building about 12 pounds of boost at 400 horsepower. That's to the wheels. That's pretty good. My car is running in the low 8s in the 8th mile track. But it's time to go faster. So one of the things that my brother and I have discussed is the addition of a torque converter. That would definitely help my 60 foot. I want to say my best 60 foot has been like a 2.02, which is okay. It's not bad, but it's not where it needs to be. I need to get it under 2. And I'm pretty sure with that torque converter, I can do that. I definitely need to be able to launch the car a lot harder than what I am now. So actually, without even adding any more horsepower, I can already be faster by adding a torque converter. So my plan is possibly before I do any kind of engine swap is to go ahead and do that, take the car to the track and see where I am. I feel like I'll definitely benefit from that. Anytime you can increase your 60 foot or actually make it better, your car is going to be faster, which is actually going to lower your overall ETA times, and that's what it's all about. Every time I take Darkhorse to the track, I'm always working on being faster, better, more consistent with my lights, and I think this torque converter will probably be my next step. I talked to a buddy of mine and he told me PI or Circle D, I believe it is, was two good manufacturers that he's used in the past, and he's recommended those, so I will look into those. Probably call them and give them my car specs so I can see what kind of stall speed they recommend. I think in his Mustang and his truck, he was using a 3600, which was probably good for his application. It may not be good for mine. So I want to talk to the manufacturer and just see what they recommend. So with that out of the way, I've been contemplating on how can we make more power. So with all the thoughts that I've had, it's boiled down to I've looked at the 7.3 liter Godzilla engine, which is nice. I know it'll make a lot of power. As well as the Coyote engine, we can make a lot of power with it. It all depends on what your power adder is. But when we get right down to it, I'd like to do this work myself versus paying someone and having them to do it. And I feel like with the knowledge that I have on the 4.6 liter V8, I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is build a brand new one with stronger internals. Once I do that, I feel pretty comfortable that I know that engine is reliable. It can make a lot of horsepower. The decision after that is, do I stick with my Vortex supercharger or do I go with one single big turbo? That's yet to be determined. I've seen some of these 4.6 liter V8s from Ford. Like I say, mine's making 400 horsepower safely. I honestly feel like it can make more. I've read some that are making 5 and over. I guess it just gets down to, how reliable is it and for how long. One of the things I did think about doing was maybe adding possibly a 50 shot of nitrous to it. I think at 450 we would still be safe. I'm almost positive. But again, just getting into the big power, it's all about on these engines making sure the internals can take it. And with the stock one the way it is now, it won't, because my ultimate goal is somewhere between 800 to 1,000 horsepower. I feel like with a built 4.6 liter and either the supercharger or a single turbo, or even possibly the addition of nitrous, I can definitely get to that. As far as everything else, the suspension is pretty right on my car. One thing I could do to increase my launch also, the car does have a front sway bar on it. I'm going to experiment with going to the track. I'm going to disconnect it, to see how it makes my car squat, which should give me more traction in the rear. That's one thing I plan on doing. I know a lot of guys really like the Coyote and even the LS swaps, but to be honest with you, even though the LS engines can make a lot of power, me, myself, I'm a Ford guy, so I'm not going to put a Chevrolet engine in a Ford car. I'm going to stick to Ford products because that's what I know and that's what I love. So again, those two choices over that would be the Coyote. And when it comes to the Coyote, it's definitely capable of making a lot of power. But as far as cost-wise, we're talking about $10,000 to $12,000 minimum. You can probably easily spend anywhere with your additions, $20,000 to $25,000. That's with your installation. The 7.3 liter Godzilla, I feel like every month that the engine has been out, it's been making improvement. Guys have been doing testing with porting, adding different power additions to it, head work, and I know that engine is capable of making a lot of power. The only thing I question on it is it's definitely going to take some know-how with fitting it in the car. I've watched a couple of YouTube videos and the guys have got them in. It definitely took some modifications, probably above my skill level. Also, I'm curious to know, how it comes into play with the wiring harness, the computer, engine mount. So it's just a lot more to that. And again, that's 4.6 liter that's in the car. I know it'll come out. It'll go directly back in. I'm using the same computer, same wiring harness. So I feel like that would be a good garage project that I could handle and still be able to make a lot of horsepower. Probably the only other thing I plan on doing to the car as far as the interior, as you can see in the back, I'm still using the stock seat belts and stuff. I do plan on adding racing seats and a seat belt harness in the back. That'll probably be coming here in the next month or two, and when I get ready to do that, I'll definitely be sure and make a YouTube video on it. But I just definitely wanted to talk about speed differences. Again, the goal going to the track is to win, and it's also to be better every time you go. If you don't have those two things in mind, why are you going? I mean, yes, I have the love of it, but two, it's about getting better. And I feel like with the addition of the torque converter, I can definitely improve my times. And also when I do this engine swap, my car will just definitely be faster. That's whether I want to do street racing, which I'd like to get involved in, or just even having that ability when somebody comes up and challenges me on the street, I know I can take it to them. When we go to the track, my brother and I, we're real competitive. So of course I want to be able to beat him, but also just to know that my car has the capability to outrun the cars that I want it to. I mean, it's like we've talked about. We can take these older cars and build them up. We're trying to get to 700 and 800 horsepower. Sometimes it's hard to compete. The cars right off the showroom floor now, you talk about the Chargers, the Hellcats, and Shelby Mustangs. These cars right off the showroom floor are 700 horsepower. So we're trying to get to that point and even surpass it. But, I look at that also as you can go buy the car and it is what it is. It's fast. But what did you do other than go and write a check or finance it? I like to build my stuff and know where it came from, and everything that I add to the car, know what it did to it. And also, if I do the work myself, which I always try to, anytime I have a problem, I know exactly where to go and how to fix it. So for me, it's all about craftsmanship. I want to learn. I'm always working to increase my knowledge. That's what we do here at Big E's Car Garage. We're about cars. It doesn't even have to be a Mustang. I mean, I'll take anything and work on it. My Ford F-150 truck, I do all the work to it. I do not take my truck to the shop. That way I know what's done, when I've done it, and the quality of parts that's gone on it. So as far as my Mustang here, my street car, drag racer, whatever you want to call it, Darkhorse, I like to do the same thing. I want to be able to work on this car myself so I know what's going in it. If something breaks, I know how to fix it. And again, it's just a sense of satisfaction knowing that you did the work. So with that being said, guys, again, I just wanted to come to you, share some future thoughts with you on what I have planned for Darkhorse. Again, like always, every step of the way, I'll be including you guys. We'll make videos. I just encourage you again to hit the like and subscribe button. Help me out on my channel that I'm getting started. And it's a pretty Saturday. While I'm sitting here in the car, I tell you what, let's go ahead and take this thing for a drive.